True creepy story about the werewolf in Brazil. Horror dark, YouTube, English. Today's tale takes us to the haunting city of Alfenas, nestled in the heart of Brazil. The chilling events I'm about to recount took place in the ominous year of 2007, when Mr. Andre, age 43, found himself ensnared by a nightmarish sequence of events. Mr. Andre's life revolved around his role as a bus driver, navigating the city's streets during the eerie night shift. On that fateful night, after concluding his shift, he embarked on a journey back to the bus company's garage. Little did he know that the roads he would traverse would lead him to the edge of terror. As the early morning hours cast an eerie glow upon the landscape, Mr. Andre encountered a dilemma. A sudden malfunction seized his bus on a desolate dirt road, surrounded by impenetrable darkness. The backdrop was a tableau of horror, with minimal lighting and an oppressive atmosphere. Haunted by the road's desolation, Mr. Andre's determination to return home surged. He disembarked from the bus, clutching a flashlight, and dared to confront the mechanical issue. In the midst of his struggle, ominous footsteps echoed through the night, emerging from the shadowy underbrush. His heart raced as he grappled with the unnerving notion of being alone in this sinister domain. The sound of these approaching footsteps grew louder, amplifying his trepidation. The wilderness seemed to hold its breath as Mr. Andre strained his ears to discern the source of this eerie sound. Panic surged as the footsteps drew near, shattering the silence like shards of shattered glass. Drenched in anxiety, Mr. Andre retreated into the bus, clutching his flashlight like a talisman against the encroaching darkness. Through the glass windows, he surveyed his surroundings, eyes darting frantically in search of any lurking threat. Yet, the inky abyss offered no answers, only the haunting ambiguity of unseen dangers. Suddenly, the night was shattered by a new sound, a guttural growl that reverberated through the air. It wasn't the mere rustling of leaves or the skittering of small creatures. It was a sound laced with menace and intent. Fear crawled up Mr. Andre's spine as he strained to locate the source of the ominous growling. His flashlight beam cut through the gloom, revealing a sight that defied all rational explanation. Emerging from the darkness were creatures, massive, black, and cloaked in malevolence. Their lupine features were marked by eyes aflame with an eerie red light, like malevolent beacons in the abyss. One creature, larger and more imposing than the rest, fixated its gaze upon Mr. Andre, its crimson eyes locking onto his trembling form. Frozen with terror, Mr. Andre watched in morbid fascination as the creature's transformation unfurled before him. Limbs contorted, fur bristled, and bones shifted with grotesque fluidity. As the creature rose onto two legs, a blasphemous amalgamation of man and beast. In that harrowing moment, the boundaries between reality and nightmare dissolved. The creature's hybrid form bore an uncanny resemblance to a man, yet its visage was twisted by malevolence, its eyes glowing with an unholy fire, its elongated ears sharpened like daggers, and its maw bristling with predatory intent. Transfixed by terror, Mr. Andre's heart pounded in his chest like a war drum. The creature's growls escalated into a cacophony of rage, a symphony of terror that resonated deep within his soul. As the creature attempted to breach the bus's defenses, Mr. Andre clung to his flashlight like a lifeline. The pale beam his only sanctuary against the encroaching darkness. Summoning every ounce of courage, he brandished his flashlight, hoping to repel the malevolent beast with its blinding glare. Yet, in a cruel twist of fate, the creature's rage swelled at the light's intrusion, and it reared up, its form defiant, its eyes ablaze, unleashing a guttural roar that seemed to tear through the very fabric of reality. In a heart-stopping moment, the creature lunged, its claws scraping against the metal frame of the bus, its inhuman howl piercing the night. Mr. Andre, consumed by a primal instinct to survive, retreated further into the bus, cowering amidst the seats, his breath ragged and heart-pounding. The battle of wills raged on, a terrified man trapped within the shell of a bus, and a monstrous entity from the abyss determined to claim him. Time lost meaning as minutes stretched into hours. An eternity of terror etched into the fabric of that forsaken dirt road. And then, an unexpected twist of fate, the creature's ferocity waned. Groans of agony pierced the air as its bestial form contorted, its malevolent aura waning. Slowly, excruciatingly, the creature began to revert to its former self, abandoning its monstrous guise in a scene that defied the boundaries of the possible. As dawn's light crept over the horizon, the creature, now no more than a wounded soul, retreated into the obscurity of the woods, leaving Mr. Andre battered, but alive. With the arrival of dawn, rescue came in the form of the bus company's mechanic. Yet the scars of that night lingered, etched into Mr. Andre's memory like a cursed sigil. Days turned into weeks, and Mr. Andre resumed his mundane life, navigating the city's streets with trepidation. However, a chance encounter with a vagrant in his neighborhood resurrected the specter of that nightmarish encounter. The homeless man's tale mirrored his own, the black dog-like creature, the malevolent transformation, the eerie red eyes. As uncertainty and fear took root once again, Mr. Andre confronted the chilling truth. He had glimpsed a realm where the boundaries of reality and nightmare intertwined, where the line between man and beast blurred into obscurity. The streets that once felt safe were now tainted by the lingering possibility that terror lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike. Thus, the legacy of that horrifying encounter endured, a dark stain upon the fabric of Mr. Andre's life. The city of Alphenas, forever haunted by the echoes of his harrowing tale, remained a realm where the boundary between the natural and the supernatural was forever blurred, a domain where the night held secrets more terrifying than the light of day could ever reveal. With each passing day, Mr. Andre found himself ensnared in a web of fear and paranoia. The normalcy of his surroundings had crumbled, replaced by a relentless suspicion that the supernatural realm he had encountered that fateful night could manifest once more. Every shadow seemed to hold a malevolent secret, every rustling leaf an ominous harbinger. Sleep became elusive, as nightmares of glowing eyes and monstrous forms plagued his nights. The familiar streets of Alphenas became a maze of potential danger. Each corner, potential encounter with the unknown. The mundane tasks of daily life were marred by a haunting sense of vulnerability, a constant reminder that the boundary between safety and terror was paper thin. Mr. Andre's interactions with others took on a distant quality, as if the barrier he had witnessed that night had somehow seeped into his very being, isolating him from the comfort of human connection. He felt himself teetering on the precipice of a world that defied logic and reason, a world where the terrors of folklore and imagination materialized. Rumors whispered through the city like an eerie breeze, tales of inexplicable occurrences and strange sightings. Those who had once scoffed at the idea of supernatural entities roaming their midst now exchanged hushed conversations about the shadows that seemed to dance at the edge of their vision, the unsettling rustling of bushes in the night, and the unnerving feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. In this atmosphere of palpable unease, Mr. Andre's journey took an unexpected turn. One evening, as he walked the dimly lit streets of Alpheus, his senses heightened by his persistent dread, he caught a glimpse of movement in the periphery of his vision. He turned, heart pounding, only to be met by the gaze of a stray dog, a mundane, harmless creature, with no hint of malevolence. In that moment, the juxtaposition of his irrational fear and the reality before him struck like a lightning bolt. He was faced with the harsh reality that the mind's capacity to warp perception could eclipse the truth, twisting the ordinary into the sinister. He realized that the trauma of that night had cast an indelible shadow over his perception, warping his sense of reality and igniting the flames of irrational terror. As time passed, Mr. Andre embarked on a journey of healing. He sought solace in the company of friends and family, sharing his story not as a tale of horror, but as a testament to the power of the mind to create its own terrors. Through therapy and support, he learned to confront his fears and separate the imagined from the actual. The city of Alpheus slowly shed its shroud of darkness, re-emerging as a place of everyday life rather than a realm of lurking horrors. Though the scars of that night would forever remain, Mr. Andre began to find moments of respite, moments when he could embrace the ordinary without the specter of supernatural dread hanging overhead. His tale served as a reminder that the human mind, in its vulnerability, can conjure terrors more potent than any external threat. As he walked the streets of Alpheus, his steps grew steadier, his heart lighter, and his gaze focused on the realm of the possible, rather than the imagined. The boundary between reality and nightmare may have been blurred for a time, but Mr. Andre's journey illuminated the power of resilience, the triumph of the human spirit over even the most haunting of shadows.